Hey folks, welcome. Oh look, it's a squirrel. This squirrel's a nasty one. This one is disturbing things I think I've ever seen on TV. Like, there is no words to describe what this video here has just fucking destroyed me. Absolutely destroyed me. I don't recommend you go and watch it. I was going to play it, but I know it's really fucking got me. I was not ready. Like, I've watched Patrick Lancaster for a little while since, and yeah, I was definitely not ready. I've seen a lot of his videos, and fucking this unstable connection, brilliant, fucking brilliant. I don't know if this is, it's working again. So guys, listen, I recommend not to watch this video. Do not go and see this video if you are susceptible to. It's very gory. Like, it's like I say, I just wasn't fucking ready. If I'd have known, and if I'm talking to you now to say the same thing, like, I would definitely not go watch it because it's fucking absolutely just fucking awful. Like, really, the most disturbing thing I've ever seen outside of real life. I've seen some pretty bad shit in my life, but yeah, this just fucking, it will destroy you. So please do not go and watch it. But I was hoping a few people will come in and I'll sort of describe and save you having to go through that, because that a few of the comments are saying things like, this is going to give people PTSD. It's going to give people like instant fucking trauma. I can put my hands up and say it has affected me. Fucking hell. I'm lost for words. Listen, the main point of this whole thing was that it happened today, and there isn't one single report, not one MSM has broadcast anything about it, because it doesn't go with the narrative. It doesn't fit with what they want to talk about. Still don't know. Patrick's saying that it is a Ukrainian attack on Donetsk. With knowing what I know about war, which isn't a lot, I have no experience of it. I would never like to have any experience of it, but it seems that it's an attack on a civilian area, and I don't know who, because in war, people do the most awful things. They do things that make it look like the enemy did it. So either way, either whether it's the Russians or the Ukrainians who have done it, is flat out the worst thing that you could possibly watch. So that's why I recommend you don't go see it. Even though it needs to be heard about, and I'm sure through my words, I want to express how fucking ridiculous it actually is. Like, really, really full on. Excuse me. Absolutely full on. Will give you fucking nightmares. I promise. I put my hand up and I promise that if you do go and watch it, be fucking prepared. Be as prepared as you can. So let me give you a rundown of what actually happens in the video, because I hope you listen to my warning to say, "Hey, Window, how you doing, man? Bit of a serious one, this one, mate. This one is, in fact, before we get started, you can hear me, I guess. Things are coming through. I've had a few mic issues. I'm in a different place at the moment, so I've just done this because I've just watched this. And like I say, I recommend don't fucking click that video unless you have a stomach of fucking steel and a mind with like some kind of fucking protection of some sort, because I wish I'd not seen it. I really wish I'd not clicked on that video. I'm used to Patrick's videos, and they're usually pretty, it's just taking you around, showing you wrecks of stuff. This must have happened as he was there, and then he's just gone like full on, turned his camera on and stuff. But you can hear me, window. Wait, I think it's a chipmunk. Oh, I hate to laugh right now. Please don't make me laugh, because yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I've just been in absolute fucking tears. Like, really fucking. I'm usually pretty fucking strong when it comes to seeing like mad stuff to do with whatever. But this was just like absolutely. It. When I say shocked me, it really did fucking shock me. Kind of because I wasn't prepared to see what that video shows. I'm surprised it's still up, to be honest. It was full on. It's very raw, very gory. It's war. It is the true. If you want to, like, if you really want to know what fucking war's like on regular people, then, but heed my warning. Please don't watch it. But if you really feel like you have to, fucking go and do it. But I've never, I've seen shit in my life. I've seen some pretty fucking stuff. I've seen people die. I watched my mum die right in front of me. I've seen a bloke in Thailand be hit by a car and on a motorbike and rolling down the road, things like that. But when you see something like this, when there's no cause, there's no cause, there's no reason for this to happen. There's no actual, oh, it was a military base, or it was a this, or it was a that. This was a shopping area with people walking around. And yeah, and it was a cluster ammunition. It was what they call, I believe he said it was called a scarab. It had English writing on it, so it had English lettering and stuff like that. So whether that makes any difference, I don't know. But yeah, it's so the video starts with him quite frantic. So I guess it's kind of just happened. It's daytime, so I don't think it's like in the last couple of hours, because Ukraine is, I think, 4 hours ahead from the UK, so it will be like right now it'll be like 3 a.m, 3 a.m. So it's daylight, so I guess it's this afternoon at some point. There was chaos, people running everywhere. So going by that, I'd say it just happened, and that's why it was unedited, it didn't blur anything out, and you saw exactly what had happened. And yeah, it was fucking disturbing. I'll tell you, 100%. You will be disturbed. So he's running around. The first thing happens is he sees a guy on a stretcher who is being put into an ambulance to be taken to the hospital. I'll get to the point of this video in a second, but I'll run it through it just so for the people who didn't go and watch the video understand what's happening. So there's footage of a guy being put in an ambulance who's had his leg absolutely fucking like shrapnel. Yeah, it's gruesome. And I was a bit like, fucking hell, I wish I'd turned it off at that point, but I didn't. Because I thought maybe that's the limit that he's going to go for, but I was very, very wrong. And he then shows you a load of shop windows have been blown out, like literally probably 100 yards of shops of just no glass in the front, glass all over the floors. And then there's dozens of people in cars, people on the floor. There's people screaming and shouting. There's people in shock. It's a real scene of absolute annihilation of, like, I don't mean like the buildings have come down and stuff like that. I'm just talking in a sense of people's lives. Absolutely, like from 1 minute walking around shopping to next minute, dozens of people dead. So he filmed some of that, which is really, really hard to watch because there is some really awful scenes of a car with a family in it, things like that. And he ends up walking up the road. He sees a few military personnel looking at something, so he's run over. And it's the section, I guess, of missile that once it's over its target and it disperses all this shrapnel and fucking pieces of metal and stuff, something obviously gets ejected because you can see the fins on the back. He's been there 8 years, so I guess he knows, he's seen these things. And he said it was a Scarab missile. I think it says in there. But as you said, it says doesn't kill by Ukrainian cluster bomb attack on center of Donetsk. So the whole point of this, of why I've come on, is one, because it was so disturbing, and it was just, I can't believe it's not being talked about. So mainstream media haven't said a fucking word all day. I would have seen this. What's that? People calling the shots don't care because they're not ones who are. Yeah, but I also think it's what's got me is that if it was a Russian false flag or a Russian, bit of full on propaganda where, in war people do the most disturbing things. We've seen it in Iraq, we've seen it fucking all over the place. People do the most disturbing things, and it has happened that people attack their own to make it look like the enemy. I guess false flag is the right word to use, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know, but that needs research. Whether Russians have the same artillery, I don't know. I'm not an expert on Russian artillery. I'm not an expert on war. I'm not an expert on anything. But what I really want to point out is how no one is actually, if it was a Russian thing or there was some kind of, I'm surprised they've not just spun it and put it all over the news. And it's on the BBC website, is it? They claim it's Russian. Yeah. Hey Dougal, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Which is what you've just said is what I'm literally, I would think would happen. You know what I mean? Now, I guess they could get the Ukrainian artillery and use it and pretend it was them. It also could be just straight up the Ukrainians doing Donetsk like they have done for so many years. I'll go and have a look at that just for the spin. But you've then got to ask the question. So the question: if it was a false flag by Russia, they've obviously done it, so it would be like Ukraine bad. If it's not a flag and Ukraine did it, then it would be against the narrative of what's happening. So they would obviously spin it like you've just said, Dougal. Yeah, in fact, yeah, maybe if you're looking at that now, let me know like what they're actually. Did they name the type of weapon? Did they say where it came? That I'm not sure. I'll have a look after I've finished this live. But like I've got to really like send it home to you guys. If you've got a fucking absolute like metal brain or like the strongest stomach in the world, then I've seen one person say it was knocked off course by an anti-missile. Yeah, see that as well, but then wouldn't that? Well, I guess if it would have exploded, then it would have just, you know, if it was hit by something, I guess it would have just fucking exploded right there. Right over the center of Donetsk, though. Fucking hell, man. Oh, I wish I'd not seen it. I really fucking, I tell you, I've got a pretty strong stomach with a fairly strong mind, but that's popped me. It really has got me for six. It's a very English saying, cricket term, in fact. And I didn't go set up in my room, as you can see. I'm in my lounge, big TV, whatever. So yeah, it'll be interesting tomorrow to see what the spin is on it, or whether. See, this is the thing. Like now, you just can't trust fucking anybody for anything. This is what gets me now. Is it's so easy to be swayed. You know, propaganda is very powerful. It's a very, very powerful thing, and it might have got me. You know, it might be that it was Russian doing a fucking terrible, awful fucking thing to themselves. And you know, you can have an opinion about that and say, "Oh, they wouldn't fucking do that. That's awful." Or you can have the opinion that they've been doing it for 8 years. You know, what's to say that it's just not doing it more? Yeah, it's fucked up. It really is. It's fucking speechless, man. I tell you, really fucking took you for six. Has anyone on now? Has anyone actually watched the video? Did anyone actually like see the footage, or did you refrain? Probably well done if you did. But yeah, I'm just hoping someone comes in who has actually seen it, for the fact that they can also express in chat how fucking unbelievable, unfucking real. But this is war, you know. People do the fucking most horrific shit, and I guess because of like Afghanistan and Iraq, there wasn't the whole phone thing. You know, not everybody had telephones and were running around with cameras, and the only people kind of who were press. Obviously, Patrick, his story is that he's an independent journalist, crowdfunded. There's no affiliation with anyone. But then I also asked the question of, would the Russians let him go around with them if he? Hey, Magic, be careful, man. Like seriously. Like I'll put that fucking big heavy warning on you now. Just prepare. It's got some very, very strong footage in it. Like I say, like I had fucking, my eyes were full of water, mate. Like I feel the in the whole video, you feel like even him he's so fucking energetically, I guess, shock of some, you know, maybe that's what was getting him going. I'll be interested to listen. I'll tell you. Once you've seen the first like few seconds of, like, once he's gone past the ambulance and he's ran up the road and showed you the glass and all that kind of stuff, and then the edge of a car with fucking the whole family in it and shit like that, I would press stop there, because it just gets fucking worse after that. But yeah, it's a difficult one to work out now, because there's so much false information. There's so many spins on things. There's so many, you know, like the narrative has got so channels now of people just parroting everything, you know. But that's the world we live in, I guess. Now we live in that kind of world where, like I've just said, I don't know if anyone else saw the footage of the Russian woman who walked up to the press officer and said, "I want to say 2 words," and she held up a piece of paper that just said uh, "No to war," which is 2 words in Russian. Apparently, it's just 2 like symbols, and she held it up, and within like fucking 10 seconds of her holding it up, she got mobbed by like proper riot squad, took away. You know, just gone. And literally, like, it's not some crazy fucking woman. It was just a regular woman who had a little piece of paper about that big, and it said, "No to war" or whatever. And probably the last you're ever going to fucking see of her. She's probably never going to see daylight again. Because apparently, what was it, 15 years? I think they were saying that anybody who speaks out against what they're doing, they're going to get 15 years. And I guess they will give you 15 felony. I was going to play the audio from it, but I know it'll be, you know, I'll get a lot of shit for it. I know. Whether it'll be the copyright thing with YouTube or whether it'll be against their terms and conditions. Like what I haven't. RT says 17 dead, 28 injured. I would say it was a bit more than 17, mate, to be honest. Because that was just one thing that he was looking at, and there was definitely a couple of dozen. But just seeing everybody running off, man, just kind of told you that it just happened. It literally maybe a minute or 2 before he got there with his camera. Yeah, I'll have to see. That's the thing. I want to have a look at a few different channels. I want to see what all the different people are actually saying about it, because for me, I would say it's a pretty fucking big event. One of the things I wanted to actually ask you guys, if you got an opinion on this, you've seen lots of shelling of apartment blocks, yet the numbers that are coming out of dead are on 2, 3. There's not like 50. There's not, I'm finding that a little bit. It feels like the military have gone in, cleared out the buildings, and took over certain places because they know that it's an easy win for them if something happens like that. Or they can, take out an apartment block, and you could just quite easily say, "Oh, it's just full of civilians." But when you have, oh, my fucking connection is unstable again. Let me know if this goes off, by the way, because I'm keep getting this little thing coming up saying, "Please wait whilst we try to connect you." So I'm hoping that there we go. I think we're back again. I'm just wondering if they are using that as cover. Because again, in war, people do the fucking most awful things. Yeah, they do anything to. Where can we find this Soros driving them home now? It's Patrick Lancaster. Yeah, see, that's a good point, Dougal, as well. And then the question comes: does all these different places? I guess they all have air raid sirens due to. See, I don't know about that. I don't know if I would say yes, but I don't know if everywhere. I would assume the main cities would have. But obviously, some places wouldn't, and it would be pretty fucking amazing if it did have an air raid siren, so they knew what was coming. But then, how much time do you actually have from? God, there's so many questions, man. There's questions to ask. When they say question everything, fucking, it's so important. It literally is one of the most important things. Yeah, Patrick Lancaster. It's this video here. Dozens killed. by Ukrainian cluster bomb attack on central Donetsk. It's had, it's had 7,000 people watch it already. Yeah, like I was saying, he's just got to question everything, and even when he questioned everything as much as you can, you still don't even get the fucking answers anymore. That's what's crazy. So yeah, Window, if you want to like watch it, Patrick Lancaster. It's his latest video, I think. I haven't refreshed, so he might have actually done another one. I'm not sure. I'll watch that. I think I've got the gist of what happened. I feel bad for saying that. I feel bad for saying don't go watch it, because I don't want to fucking people to see. You know what fucking war's like. You know what it's like. It's not a pretty fucking thing. You know, there's no flowers and fucking berries in it. It's all pretty disturbing stuff. But yeah, it took me. Yeah, it got me. I'll put my hand up and say it fucking did. So Dougal, how are you, mate? I've not seen you for a little while. I hope you're well. I like a bit of opposition, because I know you. I think it was quite a long time ago, actually. I think the last time I've seen you one of your comments and stuff. But I really appreciate it. I really, really do, because it makes me think. You know, I think one important thing is you've got to question yourself as well, as in me. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. You know, of what you. In fact, let me change the word "you" to "I." So it makes me question what I think, because the last thing I want is an echo chamber on that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good. Good to hear, mate. Yeah, like I say, I appreciate that. I wish there was a few more people from that other side who would fucking connection unstable. Fucking stupid internet. This day and age, we've got like fucking 3 billion trillion fucking terabytes of power, and it still shows you this bullshit. But so yeah, Magic, did you see that then? What did you make out about the footage of the tail end of what it was? Did that, you might know a little bit more. This is just a general question. You might know a little bit more of. Hey Jerry, how you doing, man? It'd be good to. What I'm hoping is there's someone like is it Funkamati? I'm pretty sure he's going to cover this at some point, because he does. I'm pretty sure he's going to cover this, and I kind of look forward to it in a sense that hopefully it'll blow a lot of his side of it, because obviously he's has done Afghanistan, Iraq, all that kind of stuff. So and he's as neutral as he can be with stuff. A lot of his channel is just Ukrainian footage, but that's basically because I heard something about they took a lot of the fat off the Russians, so they couldn't actually film stuff and just upload it. And the stuff that has come out is very kind of propaganda-ish, very edited. It's not just like a race around with a telephone shaky footage. It's all like cut, people in a helicopter, people this. You don't actually see much. So, yeah, the tail that you see is the engine and the fuel tank section. Yeah, so, and I guess a lot of these, hence why you could actually name what it is. But I haven't obviously checked on that. Come online, just see if anyone had actually seen it, and to just kind of discuss it a bit. The point bit is release midair. Yeah, warheads could be plus the single hire, I suppose, with a few other options. Yeah, I guess they can. I guess they've got different models of them to do different things, obviously. Oh man, just fucking terrible, absolutely terrible. And I think I asked this question the other day. I can't remember if I did not. I might not have. So, because I guess the people of Ukraine, for instance, who I wonder if they were ever asked if they wanted to join NATO, or is this just a typical government versus government thing, and the government, and it's Zelensky's decision to make to, join NATO. But is it worth it? That's my question. Is it worth getting you absolutely pounded by the biggest bear in the fucking planet? Probably one of the most mental fucking dictators there is there. Very clever, very quiet, but they do say that you've got to watch the quiet ones. Quiet ones are the ones you've got to watch. Is it worth that? Is it worth destroying all these different places, killing a lot of your own people? Which he? Let me get this right. I might be wrong, so I'm sure someone will. Oh, your connection is unstable. There we go. So, I forgot what the fucking thing is now. Fuck's sake. Give me a second. So, if you made a decision that then caused this to happen, would you not suddenly go, oh, fucking hell, hold on a minute, right, okay, reset, stop, everyone fucking stop, let's go this route. Yeah, see, Window, I heard that as well, but I've never seen any numbers come out. I've never seen like 90 people wanted to join. Because, when it comes down to votes and things like that, Ukraine isn't to Ukraine. In fact, I'm not pro-Ukraine or pro-Russia. I fucking hate the idea of what's going on. Whoever is involved. There's a lot of shit going on in both countries when it comes down to, exactly getting absolutely hammered by missiles and things like that in their cities like Moscow and stuff. But the people there have been under such a strain from that government for decades. It's not like it's just suddenly like Russia was great and then suddenly it's all gone to shit. So all the sanctions are actually just ruining regular people's lives. Oligarchs and all these people are not affected by that kind of stuff. They're just not. They've got fun fucking everywhere. What's that? Yeah, who really knows? They're not telling any truths. We have to find it. Yeah, and the trouble is with that is that when you find it, is that how can you even verify it anymore? That's the thing that gets me, is you cannot verify anything anymore. You've just got to sort of use your gut, like your instinct of what, which scares me a bit because we know, like I was just talking about echo chambers, about, people like to hear what they think from other people. They like to, oh yeah. It brings on a kind of camaraderie and people think well, and you know what I mean? Which is like why I like when Dougal showed up, I was like, fucking yes, because I want to know what he. In fact, Dougal, let me know what you think of. Who do you think did it? I know it's a fucking stupid question, really, but like, would you put it past Russia to do that to themselves, or do you think it wouldn't do that and maybe it was the Ukraine? I don't know. It's all about Putin trying to recreate. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, see, that's a good question. That really is a good question. I think it'd be exactly the same. I think people would start fighting us, to be honest, mate. I would literally think that if we decided to start doing what he's doing, we'd be in the same fucking boat. I wouldn't be doing this right now. I'd be fucking, I don't know. I'd be on a boat, fucking. I'd be in a canoe paddling my fucking arse off to get away from this fucking country. But yeah, it's an interesting question. Who do you think did it? Certainly looks like, and going by what Mr. Lancaster is saying, it definitely looks like it was the Ukrainian thing. I might be wrong. He might be completely wrong. We don't know. We don't know the ins and outs of Patrick. We just don't know if he's. It's a one question. When I forget who was it who put me into. I think it was who put me in touch with Patrick Lancaster. I think it was Joseph. Now I know if he was in tonight, he would definitely have seen this. I think it was Joseph who put me onto it. I think Rush is taking down evildoers. If he really wanted to do damage, could very. Yeah, see, that's the other thought that I sort of have is people were saying, oh, he underestimated the Ukrainians, and I think, really, do you not think that this is a kind of Russian strategy? Just because it's not like the West, go in like shock and awe and just fucking just kick it off with a massive party. You know what I mean? Slightly. Don't forget, he's very quiet. You don't really hear about the people around him. You don't really hear much about him, to be honest. When it comes down to his, you see him on a fucking horse with no top on. You see him fucking wrestling fucking alligators or whatever. But we don't really know much about him. We definitely don't know as much about him than we do pretty much all the others. First opinion is the so-called president's accepted side which country to welcome genocide. Playing good cop, bad cop, just an option. Yeah, I would say it's like a game of chess, to be honest. At the end of the game, they all shake hands and go for a bevy or whatever. And that's like look at the different options of how we've spoken about this just in half an hour. If you look at it just from side to side, you're like, fucking hell. If you look at it from who's the bad, who's the good, like genuinely who's the bad and good, that can have so many different opinions because of who you listen to, where you get your news from. Majority are just like big country bad. You know what I mean? I think I said that the other night. But when it comes down to it, is he just part of this group? Is he just part of the thing? The whole agenda thing. Is he just another player? It's a difficult one to, because when I ask a question, I always try and stay in the frame of mind that maybe all these people are in one crew. You know what I mean? And if you think that, then you kind of, I don't know, you kind of get easier answers if you just think that everybody's in this whole thing. It's mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling. I think I've never ever experienced so much fuckery when it comes down to like who's controlling. Oppositions are controlled. What's the best way to beat the opposition? Control them. And that makes me bring up the question about Patrick. It makes me bring out Alex Jones back in the day. It makes you bring up the questions about all these different people who are like ranting about the other side and and you think, like, yeah, exactly. Like Americans, when they want to agree on the same thing, they just, you know, behind closed doors, they're all party pals, and I've been caught several times hanging out behind the scenes. Yep, exactly. You know, it's put your war face on. For the time the cameras are there, and you've got to fight and scream and shout about stuff. And then once that's all over, you know, just go and have a couple of drinks, chat up a few women, you know. It's a funny world, isn't it? It's, well, not a funny world at all. It's pretty fucking disturbing at the moment. But I just wanted to come on and just to have a little chat about, because there was absolutely no way I was going to bed with fucking just seeing that and going, fuck me, and then trying to go to sleep. No fucking chance. Yeah, see that's a good point, Jerry. One of the things I talk about in the other live I did was how easy it was for a simple decision to be made that we could literally, when I say we, I mean the West, could literally just fund everything from money to aid to weapons to this to that, and go to war with Russia without actually bringing it. You know what I mean? It's yeah, we don't want to fight him from here. We'll do it through there. You know what I mean? Because it's already sort of going on. And then that brings up that question again: is about if you arm somebody, doesn't that make you involved? Yeah. See, I'll go with that as well, Dougal. That then I think that would have happened already. I think, you know, I saw something, but then again, it was I think whether it was CNN or one of them said Russian oligarch puts 1 million on Putin's head. And you think, really? Who's ever going to get close enough to him that will do that? Apart from his generals, his people. But then I think I think they're in for the long game. I don't think they're, you know, oh, maybe if we take him out, I can take over. You might get someone like that, but I wouldn't hold my breath. And again, I wouldn't. It will then bring the question up of, was that real? You know, oh, Putin's been assassinated. Blah, blah, blah. And you think, really? Has he? You know, probably go to one of these fucking secret islands that's not on the map. Oh man, it's a fucked up situation. It really is. Dougal, since I've not seen you for a little while, I wanted to ask you: do this could escalate into something that we have never seen before? I'm actually saying to America for the simple fact that America has been in the war like 9%. Jimmy Dore a few minutes ago before I started this, and it was a Ukrainian choir singing a song, and the message was, "We want peace and a no-fly zone." And I thought, really know the complications of a no-fly zone? That the only people that could be implement one would be NATO, and that would be World War III, 100%, no questions asked. He would be like, "Fuck this," that'd be it. That would be absolutely it. I've got a terrible feeling something really fucked up what's going to happen. And I don't think flash of, oh my God, take out fucking billion people or whatever. You've got to, window. I think everybody in every single country around the world would agree with what people have nothing to do with this. Regular people don't decide fucking things like this. I wish they would. I wish they'd fucking put out a little thing and say, right, we're thinking of going to war. What do you reckon? Yes or no? And every fucking time they would go, oh, right, okay, no. Because regular people just want to fucking crack on, do their work, get home. Regular people don't want much. They just want to fucking quiet, leave me alone. It's only, wars are going. I've said it 1,000 fucking times. War is government versus government. It's not people versus people. That's why I feel for the Ukrainian people. I feel for the Russian people, because I feel fucking sorry for all my British people and the American people, and in fact the whole fucking world, because everybody's getting affected by this. Everyone's fucking paying stupid price for everything now. Yeah, but then, Dougal, isn't that what pissed off Putin in the first place? Because I remember some years ago him getting pissed off about certain types of things pointing at him. There's huge air defense things in Europe. There's tons of them, and they're all pointing in one direction. So you can imagine. I hate to say, like, you can imagine it from his point of view. Everything's fucking pointing at you, and people are just not gonna say anything, not gonna do anything. There's some huge batteries of things that are ready for if anything happens, for sure. Well, in fact, that was another thing Jimmy Dore said. Window was, you're never ever ever gonna get someone in power who just wants to go, you know what, you lot fucking crack on with what you want to do. I want to fucking help the people. Like, just that. I'm just going to focus on my people and going to make their lives a bit fucking better. Not going to threaten anyone. You lot fucking do what you want. But that's not what NATO is about. NATO is about building a bigger force and a bigger this and a bigger fucking, resistance and a bigger to what we call enemies, I guess. It's a fucking very intrinsic, detailed, how you analyze things now. You've got to really look into stuff. Like just this story, for instance. Where can you go and check? You've got to get one side, it's like black and white. No, yeah, it was them, it wasn't them. That's literally all you're going to get. That's why I want Funkerman 530 to do his thing, because that would be a very interesting take. I'd like to know what his thing would, what his take on it. No, not nuke missiles. I'm talking about like defense. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about actual like defensive. When it comes to if anyone ever did, they would then fire these things at them and try and stop them or whatever. Sure, I'm pretty sure it might have even been 2014 maybe. Yeah, see, I'd agree with that, Jerry. Completely. Politics isn't politics anymore, On the what's it level, on a small village or town level, possibly, but not. But then the higher you go up, it's just fucking out the window. It's just a narrative. This is the aim. We've got to get there, and we'll do whatever it takes to get there without pissing too many people off. You know what I mean? They say they're supposed to work out the issues before it becomes war, but they actually instigate and try to start wars. Yeah. Okay, so his problem with systems that avoid offensive weapons. Only a problem with nullifying first strike panic killers. Yeah, I'm fully with you. Who the fucking anybody who sends off something that can just fucking absolutely annihilate, you know, and I guess Dougal, you're talking about like ones that will literally flashbang mush the size of fucking the UK. You know, we're talking 50 times fucking Hiroshima, or when it comes to size wise, I'm not talking about the actual, obviously it was an atom bomb and stuff like that, but to even think, right, how fucking crazy this is that we're even talking about the possibility. Like, what the fucking hell, man? The actual idea, the word has even been used. Crumbs. Just like mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. Fucking hell. Like it's like being in it. It's like being in some fucked up dream that you actually can't wake up from. That's what this feels like. It's the 3 to 5 speed of nuclear winter that's the problem. Even if only one side fires and we're all gone. Yeah, I want to survive that. I think there's probably, what's the average household? Like, I'm not talking about like preppers and people who've got fucking lots of land, but the average person who lives in an apartment block's got what? 3 days food, and that's if like all the electricity goes off. And because if I'm correct, doesn't a nuke send EMP as well? So we just like go off. Pretty sure that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dougal, you might know this. Pretty sure that it has some kind of electromagnetic pulsing involved in a reaction like that. Yeah. So literally, people would have what, 2 days? People in Alaska would do all right, I reckon, as long as it was nowhere near that. Anywhere that's cold, just be able to throw your food outside and just kind of leave it in the fucking wolves and other shit doesn't come and start trying to grab it. But yeah, it used to be you see on films, and that film where it starts off with the Israeli pilot, where the nuke falls off and falls into the what is it called? Trying to think what it was. Morgan Freeman in it. Something. Oh, fucking hell, what was it called? What was it called? Yeah, water. Exactly. Absolutely. Hey, did you see that? Is it all the iodine pills have like fucking can't. people have already like fuck that, getting fucking shed load boxes of this. Comment is life, health, or homeowners, death insurance, even pet insurance, but you're responsible for food insurance. Yeah, fucking never going to be the assurance of food is pretty much not, you know. Yeah, literally 2 days. I wish I'd bought that thing. I had something on years ago because it would have been cheap, but now it'd be massively expensive, I guess. But one of those handheld water purifiers, like a decent one. I think they're about like $200-300 maybe. That would only hold like about half a litre of water, but you could literally just put it in a puddle and it would take out all sorts of fucking massive. But then again, we're talking about something that no one's ever really sort of talked about, like as in a sense that might happen now. It's not like something that, oh yeah, you know, what if, you know, it could happen in the future. We're talking about fucking right now. Yeah, and that was the other thing, Window. Someone said there's two types of people. You know, look at what happened with, for example, Black Lives Matter, for instance. Like there was two types of people. There's the people who really were like, you know, Black Lives Matter and vigils, candles, peace, quiet, concerts. Then there was a lot who went out and just fucking started killing everybody and fucking, well, not killing everybody, but like setting fire to fucking stores. Didn't matter who owned them. Yeah, they just rampage, absolute fucking rampage, like proper went mental. Just started thinking, fucking hell, yeah, just smash it up. And they're the people you got to worry about. They really are the people you got to worry about. Something like, you know, in the UK, we don't have things like guns and whatever, like massive jail sentence. You get caught with anything like that. Yeah, but then where you got to get your fuel from? Where would you get your fuel from? That's a good point, but then where would you actually get your fuel from? Because that should work. Like if just electricity died, like, do you remember what? Yeah, is I don't know if you remember, but do you remember when the first Iraq War started with storming Norman? I think it was storming Norman. I think that was Iraq, wasn't it? So when they like the first things happened in Iraq and the big square building, I think it was the Ministry of Justice or Ministry of something or other. And you saw the first thing was like, and then it went to green. It went to night vision because everything went off. Like every single thing went off. Gives you a week. Mate, people are going to panic. People aren't going to be in their right frame of mind to go, right, it's gone off. So get the checklist. What have we got? People are going to be stuck. Like, they're just going to be running around like headless chickens, the majority of people. Dougal, I might come and just move in with you, mate. I swear, because you sound like you've got your head screwed on. You or Billy, I think. Fuck you. I'll paddle across the Atlantic. I'll get in my little boat. I'll be there. But yes, I remember. What was it? Probably 20-something years ago. We had a really bad winter, right? And when I say bad winter, don't laugh because I know, like Canadians and pretty fucking hardcore winters. Well, that's even more envious, Dougal. Thanks, mate. Don't want to tell us where it is, do you? So we had a lot of snow, and we didn't power for 10 days. And things got real. Things got real quick. Fucking your connection is unstable. Right, back again. We had really bad snow, and things got real quick. All the power lines fell down, and all this kind of shit. We had no power for something it was in the UK. You could probably Google it. But yeah, things went mental. Things went completely mad. And it literally at the stage where, in fact, it's probably a good measure. People had lasted about 8, 9, 10 days max before people started to try and rob the fucking house next door to see what they had. It would literally be 8, 9, or 10 days because it got to the point where people started to do that, and then the power came back on. Yeah, fucking hell. Well, I've got about shrimp, so I'm all right for 4 days. Shrimp are about literally that big. I could do skewers with like 50 on them. So yeah, yeah, it's a crazy way to talk what we're talking about right now. So Dougal, you live on an island, do you? I lived on an island for a year in Thailand. which was fucking epic. That was the life I want. But I got it for a year and got a bit self-sufficient. Like I mean, it wasn't a fucking like desert island, but it was a very remote part of one island in Thailand that only used to have tourism for about 2 days a month. The rest of the time, there was hardly anyone there. And the self-sufficiency thing was brilliant because a lot of people just depended on on trade. There's hardly any money passed hands, and it was literally people growing this would swap for that. And yeah, it was like 1,000 years ago, probably longer. But that really, to me, was very attractive. It was a very attractive way of life because you just worked for survival. There was no need for anything else. Hey, window, I'm first. I'm first. I'm the one who's fucking gonna have his. I'll move into your shed, Dougal, if that's all right. Oh, I'm glad you got me laughing anyway, because fucking hell, I'll tell you before, I was massively like fucked. It was really, really sad. But yeah, no, thank you guys. I really appreciate. I like these little personal talks. You know, if there was like 800 and fucking just bad, and I won't be able to fucking, you know, it'd be a whole different experience. But just having a few of you guys in, just for a bit of a back and forwards is real fun. And it's helped me a bit tonight because I was feeling a bit fucking down. I'm already down as it is because my dad's fucking still in hospital, which, fucking hell. I went to see him today and yeah, it was pretty hardcore. Yeah. Yeah, Thailand's fucking the place, man. If you, I don't mean Bangkok and places like that, but they have some amazing, amazing places. Like truly, like ideal, absolutely ideal. Fucking oceans full of fish. Fucking everything growing's got fruit and all sorts of. Just like you'd be like, fucking hell. You don't really need to plant anything. Well, you do, but you could literally like the amount of just wild growing stuff has been amazing. Yeah, he's in a pretty bad way, Dougal, to be honest. Like I went to see him today, and they said it's got to be a couple of weeks. And I was like, fucking hell. That's yeah. His recovery's got to be a pretty tough one this time, and I'm expecting years. How he like fuck. How does I have no clue? He's got so much strength in him when it comes to like recovering. Like he's a cartoonist, so he was drawing like the last one. He was drawing 5 days, I think it was, after his massive stroke. Couldn't talk properly. Couldn't fucking was a bit confused, but he was drawing. It was like what? But this time he's not, and we're what are we? 8 days in, so I'm a bit. So I'm expecting maybe 60% of him back, which is going to be tough because I swear this last probably I've seen quite a deterioration, and it's a very sad thing to see, as you can imagine. I'm sure some of you have sort of been through seeing people deteriorate and stuff, but yeah, it's difficult, really difficult. But I'm fingers crossed, positive about it. Yeah, Jerry. Well, I went over DJing, mate, to start, and yeah. In fact, I didn't even go over there to DJ. I was going to Australia, and let's stop in Thailand for a week and just have a bit of a chill before we actually go to Australia and start jobs and all that shit. And I was like, fucking hell, this is mint. This is absolutely amazing. And I gave the guy a demo, and he was like, "When can you play?" And I was like, "Whenever." He was like, "Tomorrow," and I was like, "What? Tomorrow?" He was like, "Yeah, come down tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay," and did one set, and he was like, "Do you want to play again?" And I was like, "Fucking hell, of course I do." And he gave me a job, and I was like, "You know what? This place is fucking amazing, and the fantastic." And I wasn't really looking forward to food in Australia, to be honest. Um, and I swear it was a big thing. The food got me like, whoa. But yeah, fucking got me a job. Told me like, fucking hell, to resident here, I'll get you a work permit. Fucking hell, what? And yeah, I was there 7 years. And then the same thing happened in Malaysia. I went to Malaysia for because I was. In fact, I think I told you the story about the Thai mental fucking girl who, yeah. But see that you can hear that story in the other video. So what was I here? My dad had a stroke and oh man, that's fucking sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, Jerry, mate. Yeah, it's it's fucking got me, mate. So I don't expect I know he's going to come back. I know he is, but I expect it to be the same, obviously, because every other time it's happened, he's come back. He's lost 5% of his movement. He's lost his voice. Like today, he's not getting the crazy hallucinations anymore, but his voice is just it's affected his voice massively. Oh man, Jerry, sorry to hear that, mate. Really sad. But yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see. But my only thing is, I don't want his quality of life to be like, because he's not that kind of bloke. He's not that kind of guy. You know, he likes to chat and talk, and if his voice is on, if he's not able to do that, I can imagine that just being fucking not good. But listen, guys, I think I want to call it. It's 10 past 10. I really, really appreciate you guys coming on tonight. You've lifted me up a bit. And yeah, fucking props to you guys. I appreciate this so much. Especially on what we just talked about on a personal level for me, doing this job. There's not a fucking lot of talk to. Like I talk to people on telephone and friends and things like that, but they've all got their lives. They've all got their. This for me is like I can just throw up a live stream and we can just fucking chat away about whatever it is. It doesn't always have to be this, and then we've ended with talking about pretty strong personal stuff, and you're always welcome, always welcome, especially now. Now I know you've. No, I'm joking. But yeah, you're very welcome, mate. It's Window, Jerry, Dougal, everybody who's in. Fucking wicked, absolutely wicked. So listen, take care of yourselves, and we shall see you next time for the wappy chat about fucking everything. We'll try and do that soon. So yeah, let's do it again soon. I'm gonna bugger off for a couple of days to have a bit of a break tomorrow morning. First break in 2 years. Actual break where I'm just gonna turn off for a little bit. Obviously not turn off with my dad. I'm gonna obviously check in, but I've got a few people, sister and so on, are going to take over just for a couple of days, so I can get a bit of a reset and get my mind sorted out. And got to try and go fishing. That's what I'm going to go and try and do. So listen, be good, stay safe, stay focused. Stop looking at the fucking squirrels that are all over the place at the moment. And if you want to look at a squirrel, come and look at this one. So listen, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and we'll see you real soon. Catch you in a bit.